What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Respond.
Can you describe the challenge it is defensively when LeBron...
No challenge.
But particularly the end of the game...
No challenge.
Can you describe what it's like as a defender to when he tries to force the switches with the guards?
Pat Bev trick y'all, man. Like, he play defense. He don't guard nobody, man. He's just running around doing nothing. It's not... As you've seen, what happened, 47. All that commotion to get 47.
Talk about it!
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Welcome, family, to another edition of Above the Rim. Brought to you, as always, it's your boy, Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. Appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all tuning in, subscribing, keeping it locked in each and every week, family. And joining me this week, a classic Above the Rim episode, a classic Above the Rim guest, a friend of the show. Doesn't need too much introduction. You already know it's live when we link up. The homie Jov, host of the Gray Area. What's good, my brother?
Yes. Good to be back as always. Talk some hoop. We are in the stretch run. My favorite time of the year is right now.
It's a spicy time now.
Oh yeah. I'm feeling good tonight too, you know what I mean?
Yes, me too. I'm feeling very well tonight. That is true. So, of course, family, make sure you hit me up on all social media, on Twitter, at JustBlaze_513, JUSBLAZE_513. On IG, it's JustBlaze513. On Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Hit me up, the voicemail, some hate mail, 908-718-1592. Job, where can the family find you, my brother?
As always, you can find me on Twitter, Chet_O'Hara, on Instagram, JovTGA, on Facebook, Ray Jarvis, or you can find my Facebook business page, which is the Gray Area Sports and Entertainment. As always, there's the Rap Roundtable as well. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the Rap Roundtable as well.
And that's Job TGA, not GTA.
Yes, TGA, the Gray Area.
You know, basically. When I first looked at it, I was like, I can't even lie. Oh yeah, family. Also, my apologies, no episode last week, man. Duty calls, man. Had a few things going on, so back in the stretch run now. I got to start doing these back again every week.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to take a break, Job.
Of course.
People don't understand. You know what? People don't understand how much work goes into podcasting.
It's a lot of work. They think it's just, hit play talk. Nah, like you gotta have something to talk about. It has to be fire. And then once you start hitting a certain level of quality, you start feeling pressure that you place on yourself to make sure that you're able to repeat that quality. So if you gotta take a step back, take a step back.
Exactly.
I took the whole summer off, Just.
I actually applauded that, man, because I know you needed that refresh.
Hell yeah,
I know
man.
you needed, because I'm telling you, man, it does take a lot to actually create a show, do a lot, and especially if you care about it. That's the key. A lot of people get on the mic, they just go talk a little shit on the mic.
That's it.
Rambling, yapping, no care. And who cares after that?
Nobody. That's the problem. And then what are you doing it for? To hear yourself talk?
But they love it.
If you have listeners and they expect something of you, you have to be able to repeat every time.
You got to put the quality up.
Yes.
You have to. I have to. So let's get up in this, man. Let's get into this episode. Copping or dropping, I got to start from my brother. Have you done copping or dropping since you've been here?
Nah, this is the first for me.
You're kidding.
We've never copped or dropped before.
Because the last episode was the Kobe episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I took it out of that.
I think what do we do? What was it? The pressure cooker episode we would do. What is that again? Oh man,
wait, how am I forgetting?
That was our staple ones where we would do the ratings.
Put up or shut
up is the ones that we normally do. There it is.
Matter of fact,
we've done 3 of those.
Soon coming.
Yeah,
there's another volume.
Hey,
too.
pull up. Yeah, I'm here. You know
put
what I mean?
Up or shut up. I forgot the annual. Put up or shut up. So let's get into this copping dropping. Family, if you didn't know, I'm throwing out some NBA hot takes, some opinions, stuff like that. And if Jav agrees, and he's copping. If he disagrees, and he's dropping. Let's get with it. So let's start off with your Lakers.
Oh yeah. Hell of a weekend.
I literally wrote that on my hell of a weekend.
Yes.
The Lakers had beaten basically the two best teams in direct contention to you guys for a title, the Clippers and the Bucks. And I must say, I was very impressed, my brother.
Oh, yeah.
I was very impressed with those LA Lakers. And both teams were healthy.
Yes.
That they played. The Clippers and the Bucks. Both healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Braun showed out. He had 37, 8, and 7 on Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Then he followed that up with a 28, 7, and 9 guard Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's the third player ever with 34,000 points, so I got to give him some love there. And listen, they showed up and they showed out. Your Laker boys came to play this weekend.
Hey, this is what we've envisioned. 7 years of being bad to
What
get
you
back.
envisioned 7 years.
Like to get back, to get the primetime games, the Sunday afternoon showcase game as a playoff contender.
3:30 ABC
Again,
games.
it's been 7 years just of not getting that prime position as a good team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The electricity and Staples over this weekend,
Nice to
especially
see.
against the Clippers.
Nice to see.
Although it was an away game, we know what type of time it is. It's a home game every trip.
It damn sure was.
And to see the boys show up. Forget LeBron, forget AD. We know what we will get from them.
Yes.
To see Avery Bradley, who's been shaky all season, show up. To see Kuz do the little things.
Avery Bradley gets some heat on Twitter.
Oh
man.
yeah, I mean even
Okay.
KCP with a couple of timely hoops,
Yes.
and you know how I feel about Caldwell Pope. So to see you know what it is? It looked like the guys understood what the weekend was.
Yes, they
what
did.
these games meant.
They were ready.
You couldn't stage it any better. The Milwaukee Clippers back to back. We had to show up. And across the board, even the coach, Vogel made adjustments. I'm like, what is going on this weekend?
He was fired up, too.
It felt like playoff weekend, and we showed up. And salute to my Lakers. There's more to come, hopefully. But this weekend, I'm going to talk my talk. We look good.
Yes, it's time to talk your talk.
Oh, yeah. We
you
look
can definitely do that.
As of now, I've said it on wax on your show. I've
Wait.
said, okay, I'm going to stop.
Wait a minute. I know you about to... let me get to the confident drop. I know it's a
I already got my money out. I'm trying to cop.
Confident dropping, my brother.
All right.
The Lakers are now the undisputed title favorites. Confident dropping this take. Joff.
Yeah, I'm copping it, you know?
Oh, talk to me.
I went to the store a few times and I dropped it. On above the rim. I was at the checkout line, then I put it back on the shelf.
You were on that Clippers train last time I heard from you.
But the thing is, prior to this,
okay.
we got the Wright Morris twin for what we need. No shade. No shade. I'm just talking about the skill set.
Y'all got Marcus.
Yes.
From Detroit.
The skill set that we need, the shooting, and a guy who doesn't view himself as more than what he is. Perfect fit for the Lakers.
Now, that's the key.
Now you add and he's a dog, okay? Then you add waiters. You know, a guy that you said the Lakers should go after. I've been on that. And I didn't think LeBron would sign off because at the end of the day, it's clear that all the reports indicate that LeBron is in lockstep with Rob Pelinka, right? Yeah. We know what it is, right? So for him to sign off on waiters shows that what we've been saying since last fall, they need a guard who can get his own bucket, a guard who can go north and south and score. They have that. So now when the offense gets bogged down against the Clipper team, you have a waiters. Now you can take more chances, you know? And the way LeBron looked yesterday, when LeBron is not playing that BS Raymond ball where he wants to finesse, he wanted to impose himself. I text Baylor, to throw a little nugget in there, and I said he reminded me of Bean yesterday. He understood what the moment was, and then play like a little soft, because you know how I feel about LeBron.
Is that what I heard?
Nah, because it's like show up, go to the basket,
You know
attack.
How you said that he didn't play finesse Raymond ball. Look at this stat I saw. Against the Bucks and the Clippers combined, he was 24 for 29 from the line.
Yes,
83%. And what that shows me is that man was attacking.
And that's the thing that always you're 6'9", 250. Stop playing so soft.
Attack.
I don't know if it'll. He is who he is. He might go back and be soft again.
Yes.
But on this particular weekend, he understood that we was all looking at him. Laker Nation across the globe was looking at him.
Oh, it was on LeBron.
And he showed up, and AD as well. And if those two guys are given 30 pieces, what can you do with them?
It's gonna be tough to stop.
That's why I'm copping now.
Oh,
I'm ready to die on that hill. I'm prepared.
I love to.
As the facts change, so does my opinion. You know.
I mean, it can.
Hey,
facts. You saw my. Listen, this was a very important game because what's most important, as I said earlier, everybody was healthy.
Yes.
Everybody played. There was no excuses this time.
And PG played his ass off.
PG played his ass off. Kawhi looked a little. I don't want to say quiet because he still gave you a 29, and he hit some quality mid-range buckets.
Oh yeah.
But that's normal Kawhi. We've come to expect that from him. But He didn't fill the stat sheet. I feel like he didn't put his imprint on the game as much as LeBron did. And I do like how LeBron was attacking LeBron. Remember in that critical play in the game, even though he got called for an offensive foul, when he was bulldozing in the lane and he elbowed Montrez a little bit.
Key.
I mean, it was an offensive foul, but it
Yes.
showed me something about that offensive foul. That was big time for me because I'm like, oh, LeBron's ready to play.
Maybe the whole thing about him taking the first half to get ready for the second half is a thing. Again, we'll see. Because we know LeBron. We know how he gives it up, okay? So it could be a game where I'll be right back on this chair saying why he ain't played more aggressive. I understand that. But if this is the guy we're going to get in the spring, it's going to be it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. The question I have for you, you mentioned Kawhi playing. He had his buckets. We saw PG assert himself.
Yes.
Is it possible that it is going to be difficult for them to assert themselves simultaneously? Or will it always be a your turn, my turn situation? Because it looked like since PG was active, Kawhi took the step back for PG to get active. Can we see both of them together doing this?
See, I don't think the problem is just them.
Okay.
I think they can. The problem is incorporating everyone else on this roster right now. See, I always said the clip, I talked about it with CL last episode. I think they're doing a little too much with this roster right now. They have about 11 or 12 little quality rotation pieces that all can warrant about 20 minutes a game on any other team that they were on. Now they signed on Joakim Noah. That's another person that can give you 10 to 15 minutes.
How many roster spots do they have, Just?
And that's overkill. To me, that was overkill. And I was like, damn, I didn't know they have another roster spot.
Yeah.
But Reggie Jackson to me was a little overkill, especially when you get to the playoffs.
Right.
But I think those two can simultaneously go off, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, because I think those two, the way they play their games, they both score within the flow of the offense. So I don't think those two get in each other's way. But I think when you put Montrez in there, then you put Lou Will in there, and then low-key, Shammert needs some shots if you want him to be effective in there. So also now you got Reggie Jackson in there too, another combo guard who requires the ball, requires 20 to 25 minutes. I think they're doing a little too much with this Clipper lineup right now, and
Agreed.
I kind of don't like it.
Agreed. I had said on the gray area back I think right before the season started, at some point someone's going to have to be upset. Yeah. Who's going to be the person that's not playing in the crunch time situation? Or are we going to play matchup series by series? To me, the way the Lakers went after Lou Will, does that mean Lou Will's going to be a casualty against the Lakers in the Western Conference or in the playoffs somewhere?
With that big Lakers lineup, he could be. It's a strong possibility.
Pat Beverly's a liability offensively. And if you bring in Bobby Shmurda, then you kind of have to get Pat Bev out the way because his defense is overstated.
Yes.
His offense is useless. So what is he bringing to you?
That's 100. You couldn't have said that any better. I'm speechless. You couldn't have said
I don't understand.
It's a little too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in the playoff time, everybody wants to play extra minutes.
Right.
Guys obviously clearly they're not gonna play 40 minutes, but you want to play at least 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
And that leads to issues in the locker room. Whether it's grumbling or pouting, someone's gonna be upset.
And if you're not lock and step every step of the way throughout the playoffs, any little chink in your armor is going to be exposed because especially in this playoffs right now,
true indeed,
there are no easy wins, no easy outs. Every series is going to be a dogfight, and I still think the Clippers are the best team. Obviously, on paper, I still think they're the best team. Of course. But they have a lot of chemistry issues. Well, not a lot of chemistry issues. I won't say that. That's overstating it. But I feel like their chemistry can be penetrated.
Yeah, they have situational chemistry issues.
Yes, there we go. That's the better word. Situational chemistry issues. And I think they can be adjusted and I think they can be done. But when it gets to that Lakers series, it's emotional.
Yeah.
You notice, low-key, I saw you saw Avery Bradley got attacked.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we love to see this. Avery Bradley getting attacked.
For staring.
That was a stupid take.
Come on, man. The refs wanted to make sure that people knew they were there. I get it. It's a big game. Let's give a guy a tech so it doesn't get crazy. Yeah. But let it get a little crazy. Okay. Pat Bev out here swiping at the ball and doing a lot. No tech for him. Come on.
It probably does a lot. We know that. But really quick before we move on. So are you good with the roster now? You good with the Dion Waiters pickup? We spoke about that. I know you kind of like that. I love the Dion Waiters pickup. How is that backcourt going to look right now? Because it might get a little crowded.
Well, I think if you ask anyone in Laker Nation, it's obvious who the odd
Lakers
man
should
out
be
is.
looking split sometimes, though.
We all agree that Rondo needs to go.
I think
you won't find a Laker fan who wants Rondo on the court, okay?
But does Vogel want Rondo off the court?
Well,
that's what matters.
I think that is up to Dion Waiters to show that Rondo needs to be on the bench because I think Caruso's minutes are locked in. But then again, maybe not because we didn't see Caruso on this, even though he didn't play bad yesterday, but Rondo got the bulk of the minutes against the Clippers.
Playoff time. Is Vogel going to trust the Caruso?
And
He should,
right? But I think it's going to come down.
Give it up.
I think if we play in a 9-man rotation, then I need to see Rondo in warm-ups. I don't think you want to play 10, 11 guys in the postseason in a series.
Wait, if you play a 9-man rotation, then there's a few guys that got to be up out of there.
Hey, I mean, we don't need Dwight every night. I think, honestly, at some point we need to choose between JaVale and Dwight. That's really where I'm at with that. JaVale gets
maybe
to start.
Depending on matchup.
Right. Well, maybe they'll go to Golden State route where you start to see in certain series you'll see a Looney, in certain series you wouldn't see a Looney. You'll see this guy or Quinn Cook was on the bench for like a series and a half, then he'll pull up. So maybe they're gonna play the matches because the West is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if AD is gonna be the small ball 5, that means more of the wings will have to play in the guards.
True indeed.
So situational, but I like the fact that we have the parts to play whatever style you need us to play.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I need to see what Waiters has until he's still in the suit. Because if Waiters looks bad...
I need to see Waiters in action. But he doesn't look bad. You saw that little one game that he played with, man. I mean, it was only one game.
But you know...
But he was hyped that game.
Yeah, right. And playing with LeBron is a different experience than playing with anyone else.
That is true.
Certain guards can't handle a dude playing who has the ball, pounds it, has that time of possession that LeBron has.
He needs to be in the game when LeBron is out of the game.
Yeah.
In that second unit when AD is controlling the second unit and when Rondo is controlling the second unit, that's when he needs to be in.
I am afraid of Vogel in certain spots in the fourth quarter where he has the wrong lineup on the floor. I'm going to keep an eye on that because when the Clippers made a little mini push in the middle of the fourth quarter, he had, I think, Morris and Rondo on the floor. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not a good lineup. Like, why? He called the timeout, so I guess he saw it. And he took Rondo out of the game, but he shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. Yeah. So I think that's something I'm looking for.
He's indebted to him. That's why I feel like.
Fair enough.
You know, that was a veteran. I don't know, veteran charity, whatever.
Get him out of here, bro.
Moving on, still kind of low-key in regards to your Lakers, but I want to talk a little bit about the ACs in the Western Conference, because this is a spicy one right now.
Oh yeah,
there's legit 5 teams right now separated by 3 games, fighting for that final 8th spot. You got the Grizz with John Moran, you got the Pelicans, you got the Spurs, you got the Blazers, and you got the Kings. All solid teams. Yeah. Right. So copping a drop in this take job. There is at least one team out of those 5 that will take the Lakers to a 6 or 7 games series. 1 out of those 5. Copping or dropping. There is.
I'm gonna drop that.
You're gonna drop that? You don't think so?
Yeah.
You don't think any of these teams stand a chance for the Lakers?
I was thinking maybe Portland, but I think that we can get a game in Portland that ended in 5. Everyone else, I think...
You love calling things at 5, by the way.
I mean, how often is it wrong? You know?
I know there were a lot of people mad at you with Golden State at 5.
Hey, you know...
That was against the Rockets,
listen, that's how Devin and I got to know each other. He was pissed.
Yes, I remember that.
But listen, you know, if you watch ball enough, you start to know who could go to someone else's crib and get a game. I believe Golden State could go to Cleveland and get a game and play it out that way. But when I look at with the bottom of the West... I just think Portland is the only team that could make things interesting, but a lot of people are overreacting to that first game after Kobe passed, what it looked like. But
you think that was an overreaction?
Yeah, because
that's what I was getting ready to bring up.
We went to Portland and took 2 games. You know what I mean?
But it was a different Portland team at that time.
Yeah, I mean...
They didn't have the LeBron stopper, Trevor Ariza.
Yeah, and they have Melo there. Fair enough.
Melo, too.
But I just look at Portland's history. When they get hit with CJ and Dame, they get packed. They're not a tough out against teams that are clearly better than them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I
get what I'm saying? When a team is decisively better, they'll get moved out the way. I think, again, I'll give them a game. At best, it'll be a hard 5-game series. It'll be some games coming down to the fourth quarter, but they out of it. No 6 games. And those other young...
I don't know, bro.
I know you believe Portland could push them. I read your tweets. You know what I'm saying? I understand.
I really think they could push them to 6 or 7. But
it depends. If the Lakers defend and they assert themselves, they're gonna beat Portland. They're gonna beat everybody in a.
Dame is gonna get you 150 ball for the series.
50 ball. Wow.
You don't think he can get you 50 ball against the Lakers?
Doesn't he have a groin problem? Those are tricky, or is it a hamstring? I know he has a soft tissue injury that's real funny.
Damn, I'm forgetting what it is.
I feel like it's a groin.
He should be all right.
I don't know. I don't trust those.
No?
You know, nah. Nah.
You don't think with Nurkic coming back, because he's coming back next week, you don't think that's going to be it? That's a big body to go against JaVale.
We'll put it this way. As of right now, 5 games. If they get healthy and they put like a low 10 out of 11, 11 out of 15, they finish the season strong and they get to that 8 spot, I might be concerned.
We need the Blazers in there, man.
Because everyone else is barbecue chicken, bro. You know that.
What about the Pelicans?
Dead on arrival.
Yeah, because they are they're kind of the sexy pick, I would say, right now. Because I feel like the number one, I feel like the NBA will stop at nothing to get the Pelicans.
Zion versus LeBron in the first round? Come on, the story writes itself.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they will stop at nothing for that. But you don't think the Pelicans could give them a run?
Let me paint the picture for you with the Pelicans and the Lakers. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be an ugly game 1. We're going to smoke them. Game 2, we'll run away late, and then it's gonna go to New Orleans, right? You're gonna see all the purple T-shirts in the crowd. You know, they give you a they had the special playoff T-shirts. It's gonna be lit, right? It's gonna be 2 close games
over there.
It's gonna be 2 close games in New Orleans.
Smoothie King.
But the Lakers gonna walk out with a broom. They're gonna lose both games in New Orleans. Oh yeah, they're getting swept. It's going to be a very theatrical sweep.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
I know. There are theatrical sweeps. Yes. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be a very theatrical sweep.
There are a lot of theatrical sweeps. I'm not going to lie. Wow, sweep.
Come on.
Nah, son, you got to give him one game.
Why? I don't have to do anything. Like, no. It's going to be a sweep.
The Pele Lakers.
And you know I love my Pele
That's
Lakers.
what I'm saying.
I love them.
Hold
on. No.
You don't think the young pups are going to be a little fired up?
Not at all.
But they have been playing better, though.
LeBron likes to pound them, too.
He does.
It's very personal.
I'm not going to lie. It's very personal for him, too.
The little talks about Wash. I think I'm now wondering if one of these young punks called him Wash. And they got back to him. Yeah.
I think he said, meet me at the cleaners.
Yeah. I think someone said something. I don't think it was the media. I think he's mad at one of I think it might be Hart. He posted that picture when he had his nuts in his face. Pause. So it's personal on both sides.
It's definitely personal. And he always makes a post about AD going back to Orleans. Be there for you. We riding with you.
Right. Did we give up too much? Yeah. Come on. I'm telling you. Theatrical sweep.
Damn, I'm starting to like the Pelicans in that AC right now.
The towels are going to be swinging. It's going to look real good in New Orleans.
I might love a dramatic sweep, though.
Nah, bro, packing. In that series, he's packing. Damn. AD might average 35, 40 in that series.
Low-key, you know, low-key, I don't want it to stain Zion a little bit, because I think if he gets in the playoffs right now, I think he's going to get eaten alive.
Nah, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. You get swept by LeBron, everybody wins.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to look good in that series. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, he has a cheat code. Yo, he has LeBron. He has Lonzo and Drew Holiday creating, and B.I. creating for him. He's good. Everyone loves Zion. You have people who be fiending, but I'm like, he doesn't create any of his buckets. He has 3 top-level creators getting him clean looks.
Yes, the only thing he scores off are putbacks.
Come on.
Because he's a great second jumper.
We have certain people in the thread, I'm not going to call names, who'll be fiending for Zion. But I'm like, if you watch these games, he's getting everything creative. Because I got League Pass, and my Pele Lakers are one of the teams that I have is one of my favorites. So I get their games, and I'm watching him get creative for over and over and over again.
He definitely gets creative for.
Not for nothing. And I'll give Zion credit. He's kind of unlocked Lonzo a little bit more as well. They got low synergy. But I'm like, to your point, if he has to play the same team, 4 games because it's a sweep.
Oh, I think he's very easy to scout for.
Yeah, in like 10 nights. Listen, because the first round be wild long for no reason. Yeah. Right? It's going to be difficult to repeat that action over and over again if a team has a week and a half to lock in on you. And I think that's where Zion, to your point, will run into problems.
Yeah, I think so, too. I mean, I definitely think he would run, especially if they play the Lakers because of the length, of course. Even though he is a little bit effective, and he did impress me last game. He played pretty well. He's definitely learning where he can and can't score, but that's going to come a time. I just don't think he's ready for the playoffs, to be honest. But I would like to see a dramatic sweep. Would you call it a dramatic sweep?
Yeah.
Yeah, dramatic sweep.
Yeah, theatrical sweep.
A theatrical sweep. There we go.
That's what it'll be. It'll come down to both games in New Orleans will be close, but we win.
So Ja Morant, the Grizzlies, I think that's a sweep.
That'd be an ugly sweep.
I think that's an ugly sweep.
They don't have the parts.
That's why I don't want them in. I love me some Ja Morant right now, but I don't want him in there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The Blazers, we're going to get to the Blazers because I need to talk about one of these selective villains. But the Blazers, they disappointed me, but they need to be in that AFC because I think they will actually push out to at least 6.
I'm still stunned that these guys went from Western Conference Finals that had me believing they were going to take the leap with Golden State taking a year off to this. Like, what's the matter with you guys?
So disappointing. I understand they have injuries, but they're getting a lot of sympathy right now for this entire year. Every team has injuries and goes through things. That's the reason why it's a marathon and not a sprint. Course of 82 games, but whatever. Next copping or dropping. Let's take it in our backyard over here in Brooklyn, man. We had some drama going over here over the weekend, man. The Brooklyn Nets fired head coach Kenny Atkinson, but they were fronting a little bit, calling it mutually parting ways. That's how they like to word that now. So the Nets are 28-34, losing record, 7 in the East though. Looking like they're probably going to face the Raptors in the second round. In the first round. But there's been a lot of weird news coming out in the last couple of days. Nets had a players-only type meeting. KD and Kyrie were hearing and wasn't really feeling Kenny like that. And I remember early in the year when they had like a press conference like after the game. I think the Nets went on like a losing streak.
Yep.
When Kyrie was playing, they were losing a few games. And then they asked Kenny, like, what's going on right now with the team? Why don't you guys have the same fire, the same energy you guys had last season when D'Lo and those guys were there? And he said, well, with all the new guys that they brought in, we lost our identity. Ooh. We lost our culture. And I was like, ooh. And I sat back, I'm like, ooh. To me, I mean, he may not have taken it that way, may not have meant it that way, but that to me sounds like a shot to KD and Kyrie, but most importantly to Kyrie, because he was the guy on the floor. And he says that we don't play with the same joy and excitement that we used to play with. So I thought about stuff like that with the news coming out now. A lot of people are going to be putting a lot of things on Kyrie about this, about KD, about the firing. And an interesting tidbit. I didn't realize Kyrie Irving is about to be on his 7th. He has had seven head coaches in 9 NBA seasons.
Right.
I think that's a little crazy. And the Nets were 8-12 with Kyrie in the lineup. So copping a dropping job, I'm going to ask you. KD and Kyrie, but mostly Kyrie, should be held responsible for the decision to replace Coach Kenny Atkinson. Copping the dropping.
I'm going to stay on brand and say I'm dropping that. But
the bodyguard.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's easy to blame Kyrie Irving. But it's not like he was playing. He hasn't said anything in the media. He hasn't even given you any inclination that he had an issue with Kenny Atkinson.
Oh, no, he has not.
Right? However, Kenny Atkinson has all the quotables that makes you raise an eyebrow if you actually read articles as opposed to headlines like some people do, right? So, in this scenario, as a guy who's already out for the season, everything that comes out indicates that it's been more KD than Kyrie because I'm just reading the articles. Like a couple days ago, they got beat by Memphis by 39 points, and it was KD who was reported as questioning the culture of the team, not Kyrie. They got the K's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But because of Kyrie's history of just being aloof, making questionable comments, and he's just so easy to dislike. Some people are just easy to dislike.
That's true.
Yeah, we're gonna blame Kyrie. So this time, I'm for a change in it, and then I seen the graphic with the multiple coaches that he's played for. He didn't get Byron Scott fired.
Yeah, some of those coaches it was an exaggeration. It wasn't really an indirect contact because of Kyrie.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they
Mike Brown. Kyrie didn't get Mike Brown fired. He didn't get Tyronn Lue. Whatever happened with Tyronn in Cleveland. That's the thing. When you want to build a narrative against the guy, everything is your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, sir, say that one more time. When you want to what?
Build a narrative.
Ooh.
It's easy.
It's very easy.
And then people like me say, I don't think it's that. But because they have already decided that this is what it is, I end up sounding crazy in defense of a person with facts. And this one time, I'm not blaming Kyrie because there's nothing for me I can't support it. There's no evidence to support it. How is it his fault?
Yeah, I don't know why they're blaming him in particular. Yeah. I think they probably asked him his opinion on it. I believe when they made the decision, I believe Sean Marks and I forgot the owner's name, that they ultimately made the final decision, which I think they did. But I think they ran it by KD. They ran it by Kyrie. They ran it by DeAndre, probably, who's another one of the guys on the floor. And they said, listen, how are we feeling about the vibe around the team right now? Even though we're losing, we know we're going to get better next year. We know we're getting our pieces. Next year is going to be a very important year. This summer is going to be a very important summer with the roster adjustments that we need to make. How are we feeling about the vibe around the team? Is he going to be here next year? Do you want him here next year, number one? And if you don't want him here next year, then why are we keeping him here?
And I'll piggyback off of that, and I'll ask the public, how many times have you seen any organization make this decision in March?
The timing
that wants to acquiesce players anytime an organization moves off of a coach at a random time, a lot of times it's because, truthfully, both sides have decided that this is not working.
Yeah.
Because as much as the NBA is a players' league, the front office doesn't make these type of decisions to appease players. Maybe early season, maybe before the All-Star break, maybe at the All-Star break or right after. But March? No way.
When you're getting ready to go to the playoffs.
Exactly.
You're getting ready.
The organization sees what's going on. They know they're not bringing him back. They know that he's not equipped. Let's talk about this. They know he's not equipped to coach superstars. Some guys are equipped to coach plucky, up-and-coming teams. I talked about this with Brad Stevens in Boston.
Yes, I was just about to bring that up. Yep,
certain coaches are not built for superstars. We have to understand this in the NBA. And I think that the Brooklyn Net organization saw that this is a wrap. This season means nothing. They're going to make the playoffs. So what? You know what I'm saying? Get them out of here. We're not paying you. You don't want to coach these guys. Let's stop blaming guys who are easy to blame for a change and look at the situation as a coach knows that he's not wanted here. He doesn't want to be here. Yeah. So let's wash our hands. They did it on a Saturday.
On a Saturday afternoon, it looked like a pretty amicable split, kind of.
Listen, both parties knew what it was.
Yes, definitely.
We're not going to pass the blame pie around because it's not necessary here.
Yeah, I was thinking the blame is not necessary.
It's not necessary.
And honestly, I'm not really mad at the dismissal, are you?
No, because it's meaningless. Brooklyn,
but I mean, I'm not mad at Kenny Atkinson being on.
You know what it is.
I'm not even mad. I mean, he's a good coach. He's a good, solid coach.
He'll probably end up in Cleveland next year. You know?
Yeah, he looks like a coach for Cleveland.
Yeah, young team, build him up, get rid of him.
He's the type of coach that does more with less.
Yes,
that's the type of coach that he is. And there are coaches that excel in those kind of things, and there are some coaches that do not.
Exactly.
They need it. So, since we're on the topic of coaches, what coach would be the best fit for these? Because right now, Jacques Vaughn, I believe, is the interim coach. I don't think they're going to keep him. I definitely think he's going to go back to the assistant coach. I do remember when Jacques Vaughn was playing. He was on Utah, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he was a journeyman. I feel like
he definitely was a journeyman. He definitely was a journeyman. But yeah, so when we think about some coaches that might be the right fit for us down here in Brooklyn, what are we thinking? We got Ty Lue on the market. We've been hearing rumblings that Kyrie wants a Ty Lue. We got your boy Mark Jackson. We're about to talk about that a little bit. We got Mike Woodson, I'm hearing. David Fizdale, Thibodeau. Which coach do you think might be the best fit for us here? Or what would you say should be at the top of the list?
All right, boom. I got two options for you, Just.
Okay, talk to me.
I have the long shot first. My OG put me on this Saturday because I was unaware.
Okay.
But there's a certain dude, a certain coach in San Antonio who's in his last year. He's already been grooming players to take over. Well, assistant coaches, Tim Duncan, Becky Hammond to take over.
Sir.
Popovich has shown himself to be very fond of Kyrie and KD. And
sure.
I'm just saying.
You think so?
Long shot.
Very long.
Long shot. But before I break out.
Sean Marks is, I forgot the San Antonio connection also.
I'm just saying. It's a long shot, but I want to put it on wax somewhere. What better pod than Above the Rim?
Yes, I like it.
Last year, he's basically a lame duck. There's no extension on the table.
Yeah, and he may not want it.
Listen, why not come ease, be in the big city for a couple years before you call it a career? That's the long shot. Realistically now.
I like it, though.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I like it, okay.
Realistically, I want Fizdale in Brooklyn. That's the play. That's the coach Fizdale? I want. Because you know what it is? When you go to Bozo Nation... I had a goofball on the internet tell me that Fizdale is 71 and 134. Why should he be a viable coach for the Brooklyn Nets? I'm like, well, when you consider that 65 of the 134 came in one season when they were rebuilding, and then the other piece of that puzzle of the 134 came when they signed 47 power forwards and said go win with that team. How are you ever going to be successful with the New York Knicks?
Never got the requisite pieces.
Now, granted, does he have personality issues that leads to rubbing people the wrong way? Yes, he had a falling out with Marc Gasol, got him fired in Memphis. Apparently, he was doing some things in New York that got him up out of there as well. He was a little stubborn with how he was running his rotations. I get it. But I guess when he looked around at the situation, sometimes we have to add in the human element. You guys signed a bunch of power forwards, got me no wing players.
None.
Sold me a dream of KD and Kyrie.
Point guard.
Yeah. You traded away Kristaps, got bags of chips for him, right?
Welch is great.
And the situation just didn't lend itself to success. However, when he had players in Memphis, beyond everything else, they made the playoffs in the Western Conference.
Yes.
He already has the respect of a LeBron James and the Miami Heat pedigree. You telling me Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, that's the best 4 he would have ever had at any coaching stop. And I think the X's and O's, and he's a bit, you love to say leader of men. He has that persona that can reach a Kyrie when Kyrie wants to get a loop.
They will listen to him.
Yeah, KD will listen. I'm just saying, I think he has the right balance of X's and O's, personality. He already has the New York experience. Give me that light-skinned guy. Not Mark Jackson, but give me David Fisdale in Brooklyn.
Sir.
I know.
You sold me.
Okay, I tried.
I kind of like Fisdale in Brooklyn now. Damn. And what a way to stick it to the Knicks.
Of course. I can win.
Come over here and coach the better team.
Listen.
Oh, man. Wow. I'm not even going to lie. I like that because I definitely think he was wrongfully let go out of New York anyway. I mean, he didn't contribute enough, I guess, to winning, but it wasn't really his fault. I mean, you didn't give him the requisite pieces to actually do some damage. So what are you supposed to do? But I like Fisdale over here. So let's get into Mark Jackson, because I know you got an issue, Mark Jackson, but I understand why. Not like I don't understand. I understand why, but I think actually Mark Jackson will be a solid choice in Brooklyn. And I'm telling you that because I love to say leader of men,
yes,
right?
I know.
And Mark Jackson is one of those dudes who is a leader of men. I understand he may have his off-the-court extracurricular activities, we'll call them, that he loves to...
Unprofessional.
that he loves to, I guess, maybe invoke on others, but that's kind of all alleged.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But it's kind of alleged, so that may be in the past, that maybe once was, right? But Mark Jackson, to me, is an OG. He's a veteran. He's definitely well-respected. The last time he was a coach was it in... When was the last time Mark Jackson was a coach?
I think it was the 13-14 season.
Pacers?
Nah, with Golden State.
Oh my! Oh, whoa! I'm tripping. Wow! I'm tripping. Whoa.
You're thinking about the basketball player. That's how long he hasn't been a coach. You forgot about his coaching. That's how long it's been, y'all.
Wow, I'm really tripping right now. So I kind of I don't see the downside to it.
I do.
Well, what is the downside? Is it the X's and O's?
Yes.
The X's and O's.
Listen, you follow the sport.
I think he's going to talk about the extracurricular.
Nah, forget that. It is what it is. We all got demons. It's fine, right? When it's all said and done, and you follow the sport even more closely than I do, you know how hoopers are. You played as well.
Yes.
If you have a guy who's drawing up poor X's and O's, if there's a way to lose the locker room.
Poor?
Bro, he was running ISO ball with Clay and Steph. There was hardly any off-ball actions. KD came for a ball-moving offense. He didn't come to be an ISO player. That could lead to some issues.
But wasn't he trying to unlock Steph and KD at that time?
No, he wasn't.
I mean, and Clay?
No, he wasn't. That's why I get mad at people. Because it's like, I looked it up. Because at first I thought I was being crazy. I looked it up. They were the #1 isolation team in the NBA his final season.
His last year of coaching?
Yes. With Steph and Clay. Your Clippers at the time knew this and would blitz Clay every time Clay tried to isolate. They were trying to rip him each and every time. They knew what was coming.
But maybe that was because Draymond wasn't unlocked yet.
True.
Remember, it was David Lee at that time.
But part of it is stubbornness. And we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
If a coach is too stubborn to adjust his game plan to his players, I can't trust you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what it is? Maybe he has grown. It's been years. He's been watching this pace and space for years as an announcer. Maybe he knows.
He's been a little salty for the past couple of years.
You're right. But then I watched that Laker game and I saw him slurping off Rondo, and I'm like, Rondo's not good anymore. And he's mad at Caruso but happy with Rondo.
He has an affinity for Rondo, though.
He has an affinity for a certain type of basketball and basketball player.
Yeah,
that
very hard-nosed, old school.
Yes.
Yes, he does. But the Nets still have those kind of players.
And I'm scared of that.
They are a more finesse team. If you look at that Brooklyn Nets roster, that's a stack full of finesse players.
Yes. We need ball movement.
He doesn't have those dogs, quote unquote, or whatever he would need. I feel like the Nets roster would have to make roster adjustments regardless, because they may have a little too many ball handlers on this team.
That's what I was telling my homeboy too. I'm like, I don't think that I'm saying the Lakers. I don't think that the Nets can be successful keeping that top 4. I think either Dinwiddie or LeVert have to be traded.
Oh yes, yeah,
long term. I like Dinwiddie more than LeVert, but I think I would trade those for just shooters, floor spacers. That's it.
I would package LeVert and Jared Allen for a high quality 3-and-D wing.
Yeah.
To go with KD starting at the 4, and then a high quality 3-and-D wing.
Yeah.
Like that can also get a shot off or take his man off the dribble, something maybe like a Kelly Oubre or
something like that.
Somebody like
or
that
even like a Covington or one of those kind of players.
Yeah, it would have to be a 2-for-1. I would like for them, but I don't know, man. I think Mark Jackson would be okay just for the fact that he can bring a different culture because that's clearly what they want.
Yeah.
Connie Atkinson didn't have much culture, clearly.
But can he reach a Kyrie Irving, or is he too old? I feel like Fizdale speaks more than lingo.
He's a New York, because he's a New York guard.
True.
I just I like Fizdale too. I'm not gonna lie about that. I like Fizdale. I don't mind Mark Jackson. I think he'll be solid. Thibodeau, nah. I wouldn't like that. No.
Unless he's the lead assistant, then I'll do Thibodeau. I mean, I'm not mad at Ty Lue. Ty Lue at times showed himself to be creative offensively, but I felt like we never got to see when you coach LeBron James, it's kind of difficult to show what kind of coach you are because there's no system. LeBron is the system, you know. You
got to alter your game.
Exactly. So I don't know, but I know Fizdale, his where he comes from, what Miami does offensively, and the only coaching system to ever use LeBron, and LeBron was willing to be coached, was in Miami.
Yeah.
Right? I think he'd find a way to unlock both of those two superstars as well as the people around her.
Yeah.
But Tyrone, everyone else, I don't know. I know you're going to get mad at me, but originally they hired David Blatt to coach Kyrie. I'm just saying. They hired Blatt for Kyrie, and LeBron decided to come back.
We're looking for culture, correct?
I'm just throwing it out
there. There is no culture.
You're right.
End of story.
You're right.
No.
So disrespectful.
I mean, very disrespectful. There's no culture. I'm good on him.
You're right.
I'm good on him, brother.
The long shot Popovich. Just saying.
I like that.
If they get Popovich, I'm talking big shit. I'm sorry, y'all, but forgive my language. You know, I'm trying to be a better me. But if Popovich comes in Brooklyn, bro, I'm going to be in every game.
That would be something.
Yes.
That would be something. I'm not going to lie. So let's get into our topic of the episode right here. Selective Villains.
Man,
I'm calling this
a lot
episode.
Of that.
A very Jarve-esque type of episode. And I know a couple of people are going to read the title like, what the hell is a selective villain?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Exactly. So basically how this episode derived, we had a convo a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the Blazers and how basically this season has gone sour this year. And I felt like people are having a little bit too much sympathy for Damian Lillard and how sour the Blazers season has gone because he is an all-NBA guard. Even though he's had some injuries on the team, there's been a lot. He's been balling himself, so it's not necessarily all on him. But I feel like it's a little bit more sympathy than I would like, rather than holding him a little bit more accountable as a leader than I would like. But I hate to say it, we know player narratives are not created equal for a lot of players. So
hands down,
a lot of players receive a lot more criticism than others, and it just is what it is. So we know the media puts a lot of these things on a lot of these players. So I wanted to discuss a few players that we may or may not think the media may have a certain narrative they want to push on a couple of these players.
Right.
So I think there's quite a few when I was looking at a list, when I was thinking about this episode, the kind of stuff that we talked about, because you talk a lot about this on the gray area and a lot of narratives. So before we get into it, I know you talk about it a lot. So how do you feel like the media, do you feel like all player narratives are predetermined maybe toward the start of the season or?
Yeah. Well, they already decide. We'll start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
They already come into the season knowing who they want to position in the MVP race. And it doesn't matter what you do unless the person they pick kind of doesn't live up to MVP expectations, and then they'll swap another guy into that position. But they already know. You know,
they definitely had Giannis and
course,
LeBron at the top the same way they are now.
That's why Harden couldn't get in last year. Giannis was already decided last season, even though he, if you ask me, Harden was MVP. If every metric of the MVP, it has to be Harden. He did everything when his team was shorthanded for the time when CP was out. The scoring was needed.
I had Harden.
You know what I mean? So yes, it's predetermined. And I'm not going to call it pro wrestling, but it still stems from that. Whereas they have certain people positioned as villains, certain people positioned as heroes, and certain people positioned as a top guy, like Zion Williamson right now. Yes. He's already been positioned as a top rookie, as much as Ja Morant has carried the rookie class this entire season. As soon as Zion Williamson came back, it should be a two-man race for Rookie of the Year. No way. Absolutely not. Not Rookie of the half year. Rookie of the Year.
The year.
You know?
Entire year.
So yes, season. It's a lot of times where the facts are thrown out for a good story. And that's what the NBA has become now, and a lot of fans have been pushed away because of the fact that they get insulted by the storytelling of the narratives by the networks.
Yes. Oh, they definitely. And it's insulting.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of it is very insulting. And I agree. It's insulting to me as a viewer sometimes to actually, you know how you always say they never talk about the facts.
No.
They never talk about the facts.
Facts are boring.
Facts are boring. I wish I had your facts button right now.
Man.
Because the facts are boring. You get what I'm saying? So it's definitely 100% true, and I agree. So let's start off with the first guy. We had talked about him a little bit before. Dame Lillard, as I said before. Mm-hmm. So I remember when we were talking, right? I wrote down this that you wrote, which was important to me that I looked at. I remember you said that Dame is one of those players. You called him an expectation-less superstar.
Yes.
So I wanted you to talk about that a little bit because I 100% completely agree that he is an expectation-less superstar. So why do you think that is?
Because they know Dame Lillard is really good. He's one of the best in the league.
One of the best scorers in the league.
When you look at his roster, Portland doesn't put a championship team around him. They know he's fodder. Like, they know at some point he's going to run into the juggernaut, run into the better team, and if not, it's never going to go 7. Anytime Dame runs into the better team, it's always an early exit.
Yeah.
Think about it. He got swept last
sweep.
Oh, yeah, or a straight-up sweep. Last season with Golden State, it was a sweep. The year before that, he got swept by New Orleans.
Oh, Lord.
It's never a 7-game dogfight when Dame Lillard gets beat. And because they know that he's never on a team that's supposed to win, and has a very affable personality, and he does the things that they like as far as fourth quarter performances, willing to take the big shots in the big moments. They give him a pass because they know that he's going to lose at a certain point, but he's going to entertain you before he loses.
Oh, he's going to go out very entertaining.
Yes. He's not the main event. He's a really good mid-card performer. That's it.
Yeah, and he's one of those players that are on the opposite spectrum of being a selective villain.
Right.
Because he's actually praised, and he's looked at as very hero-esque for his loyalty, quote-unquote.
And I'll throw this to you as well. Because it's hard for you to find an interview, right? Where a media personality asks him, yo, Dame, tonight you had 27, 7, and 7, but you guys just couldn't overcome Westbrook in the Rockets' pressure defense, or Westbrook had a triple, whatever the question might be. And he won't say something like both teams played hard. Oh, I can't answer that. He'll answer the question. He'll be like, you know what? We played a hell of a game, but Westbrook, he just had the better night.
Yes.
We couldn't guard him. We couldn't get the stops. He always answers the question.
He does. He's very media friendly with that.
It's rare for you to find a quote where he got out of pocket with the media.
100%.
And because the media builds the narratives, they'll always give him a pass because he's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, they appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do. They never try to write a slander article about it.
That's what it's all about.
And that, to me, is a little bit of the problem. Not that all the blame should be on him for them not at least securing at least a 5 to 8 seed. The fact that they're out of the 8 seed and struggling, climbing to get to the 8 seed is very, I don't know the word. Like, it's
disappointment.
It's annoying to me.
I'll say it to you again. They were in the conference finals a year ago. They won a Game 7 on the road last season.
Denver.
Right?
Played excellent.
The team that's been a thorn in their side in the playoffs is not existing this year.
Nope.
And they're out of the playoffs as of recording this. How's that? If Westbrook, I'll keep going back to Westbrook because these guys are adversaries, was in that same spot with OKC, and they were out of the playoffs, it would be KD was right. You can't win with Westbrook.
The slander would be uncanny.
So yes, he is an expectational superstar because they don't expect championships. They don't expect. There's like elite, and then he's like right below that glass ceiling of super elite in the NBA.
So to me, if you can't, since he's an expectationless superstar, to me you can't put him in the top 1 through 3 at your position. Then
no,
if you're an expectation, because if you're a top 3 guard in the NBA, if you're a top 3 player at your position, we should expect the highest level of winning.
Got to be at least a 4 or 5 seed.
Like, come on,
in any conference,
at least a 4 or 5 seed. At least get deep into the playoffs every single year.
Yes.
Never get swept. That should be impossible. That should never be in your vocabulary. But you should at least be going deep into the playoffs each year, or a dogfight, as you said. So that to me, and the fact, and let's not forget that this guy was an All-NBA first-team guard last year. First-team guard. Since when is an All-NBA first-team guard being given a pass for not making the 8 seed?
I'll ask. I think you brought it up on a pod before. Since when does an NBA player who had a deep playoff run regrets the following season, in between seasons, drops a rap album, and no one says a word.
No one.
Everyone else would be like, he should have been in the gym instead of rapping, right?
Oh, but they would love to say that to anybody else. Yeah, that is true.
Instead, he gets an All-Star Weekend performance. Come on, bro. Come on. He ain't even want to be there.
Yo, bro. What was that?
And listen, man, they choose who they want.
Pull a plug, man.
Oh, it was bad. I turned the channel.
Lillard, that was terrible, man. Pull a plug on that. So let's get into your man, right? Kyrie Irving.
The boy Kyrie.
You know, every time I see him do a move, I actually hear that. It's crazy. And every time I see you write it, I say it in that voice.
Hey, man.
The boy Kyrie, your boy. So I definitely think he fits into the category of a selective villain.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's very easy to blame Kyrie for a lot of things. I mean, some of them may be warranted at times because sometimes he does say really polarizing. He makes polarizing statements, which sometimes I'm like, damn, why the hell did you say that? Or you really didn't have to say that. But he is a very not necessarily quiet, but he's a guy that has his own mind and loves to do his own thing and how he does his own thing. So selective villain, would I put him in that category? Yes, but let's talk about why. So why do you think Kyrie would be a selective villain?
Well, we got to go back about what is it, 3 years now? You left the king.
Yeah.
Not only did you leave the king, but then you made it seem as though playing with the king is not as fun as they make it seem. He was the first person to speak out against the king.
Yes.
And where the media has spent...
And didn't even speak, though.
He didn't speak, but...
Just made the move.
He made the move, but remember that First Take interview?
Oh.
Very dismissive.
Yes.
Very condescending.
You're right.
You know, because to the common man, a person like Kyrie, it's not your friend. The common beer drinking man in America he feels like Kyrie feels like he's better than them.
Yes.
And because of that energy and the fact that how can this guy doesn't want to play with LeBron James?
Wrong.
What kind of moron, what kind of arrogant individual decides that he doesn't want to play with the best player in the league? He has to be selfish. He has to be a bad guy. Yeah. He has to not have the right head on his shoulders to not want to play with LeBron. And it started from there. Then you add in the First Take interview where he was doing Max all kinds of dirty.
Oh, he was doing Max very dirty.
Right? So the narrative is set. Then you talk about the world is flat. You're having these random political discussions, geopolitical comments, so on and so forth. You lend yourself to a high snobriety crowd. You know what I mean? Kind of snobby, kind of off-putting. And it's easy to dislike. I love Kyrie's game.
Yeah.
But I'll admit it, if I seen Kyrie outside, I'd walk up on him, but I would choose my words carefully.
I would choose my words very carefully.
You don't know which Kyrie's going to be there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he's a villain. He might be a great guy. Again, his teammates seem to love him. But, you know, some of them. But in the Boston situation, they blamed him. Although a lot of the things he was saying was true. You know, Brooklyn, we just talked about it earlier. If coach gets fired, you go before there was any reports. You go on Twitter, you read the mentions. Kyrie got him fired.
Kyrie was trending. Rather than Nets coach Kenny Atkinson fired, Kyrie is trending. And when you click into Kyrie trending, it's all quotes or tweets about how Kyrie got Coach Atkinson fired.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
Kyrie has to prove people wrong. And until he does that, he's going to be a villain.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that. Thank you for saying that because I do think he still does have a lot of maturity to go through. I definitely. How old is he now? 27, 28?
Yeah, 27.
Like 27?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not 30 yet. But I definitely think he has a lot of maturity to go through. Still a little bit. I mean, he's a very mature. I'm not trying to say this guy's immature or nothing like that, but a little bit of growth. And when I'm talking about in terms of basketball play on the court and how you conduct yourself on the floor. Because my issue always with Kyrie is I'm not a big fan of his leadership. Right. So I think that because he's such a great player, like you don't always have to be the most vocal leader. You don't always have to be yelling, screaming in the locker room. That's not him, which is cool like that. But sometimes you do have to set the example in a certain way where your players will follow. I think he's a little bit too much to himself, maybe in the locker room. But I understand because sometimes you got to get in your little Zen mode. You got to get in your mode. Yeah. Right. You was about to say something?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah, so I guess sometimes you have to go in your Zen mode and do like that when you need to do. But I think where he lacks as a leader is creating camaraderie amongst your team.
But this is the thing. Because of his actions, he allows you to say that. Because it might be the opposite.
True.
But there is no visual evidence to support the opposite.
Very fair.
And that is the problem that I have when it comes to defending Kyrie. Because I have to put the cape on tight. Because it's like, when people say this is what he does, when a person like you who knows what you're talking about says that, I can't say anything because it's true.
Because we don't see it.
Right.
That's
we
true.
don't see it. What we do see is when he got hurt, Boston won some games. And when he got back, they weren't winning at the clip they were prior to. And he was upset.
Yeah.
All of his body language, all of his comments lead people to say things that might not be true, but he can't say it's not true because you haven't won yet.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to change that is when it's no different from when Kobe left Shaq. You know what I mean? Kobe could say he's a great guy. Anyone could say it. Lamar could say he's awesome. But Kobe had to win. And that's the only thing that's going to absolve you of your actions. Winning. And until you win, and you win, air quote, your way is the wrong way.
But is he going to get the credit for being the leader of this team when winning, or is it going to be KD?
I think this is not so much where it was so obvious that it was LeBron previously. I think because they came to Brooklyn together, this is going to be more of a collaborative thing. And now with the way Atkinson went out and the stories are coming out, it's clear who's calling the shots. It's him and KD. So he'll get more credit. Will he get the lead guy credit, to your question? No. But he'll get more than he did with LeBron.
But I think he lost a grand opportunity to debunk that entire narrative about him this season. And I think he failed at that. So that's why I'm a little bit disappointed in him, because this was the season to show everybody that you can be the leader. Yeah. You didn't have to be the first, second, third, or fourth seed, but team had to just play well around you and actually show that you can be the focal point of the offense and everyone can eat, basically. Because he was eating, but was everybody else eating?
I don't blame that so much on him, because I know what I saw in Boston before he got hurt that first time. That everyone was playing their role. There was not many egos at play, and they were winning games. I'll give Brad Stevens credit for that. Like that first year, I think they were like 47 and 15 or 45 and 17. They were playing great ball
before he got hurt the first time.
I think part of the issue is with the grumbling with Atkinson was that Atkinson didn't adjust what he did to circumvent what Kyrie does. And I think that's where the issues lied in. It's something with something as simple as benching Jared Allen for DeAndre Jordan. You didn't want to do that.
There was a big issue about that. Yeah.
You don't know the kind of people you're dealing with when it comes to superstars. Sometimes you got to play nice, Coach Atkinson. He didn't do that. He wanted guys to do it his way. That's the problem, you know?
I think they had philosophical issues between the two.
Yeah, and then look, I watch these games and I'm like, what's up with these lineup combos? Like some of the people who were on the floor at certain times are poor.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Atkinson. I'm not gonna lie, he was the best coach. But
just, I'm wearing the Kyrie cape. I'm trying to give him my out for Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're 100% fair, but we're gonna see, because I want him to be the leader. That I want him to get rid of this narrative that he has around him, because I think it's silly and I think it easily can be taken away. Very easily.
What the prominent NBA voices are LeBron guys. It's tough.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We'll see, man. Another guy that I think might be a selective villain in the league right now, that I think I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler.
You think so?
I think Jimmy Butler is, because I think there's a weird negative stigma about him being a quote unquote bully or a quote unquote bad teammate, especially after his departures in Minnesota, with the Karl-Anthony Towns and Wiggins nonsense, how he left Chicago, and I think both of them were so overblown.
Yeah.
And then also him leaving Philly in a half a season after it was seemingly pretty good, or A-OK. They got to the conference finals. So, wait, was it conference finals?
They were one missed shot away.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on. It was the semifinal, my bad.
That shot that Kawhi hit.
Exactly, shot that Kawhi hit. But, so I think coming into the season, I think the NBA media wanted to villainize Jimmy Butler for being the only... That's really stupid superstar, but the only star to actually take his own path and go over there to Miami.
True.
Because when he went over there to Miami, everyone knows I was big on that Miami train when he went over there. I think it was a phenomenal decision that he made to going over there, because I think they were building a great culture over there. So I think now, the media is kind of grasping with the fact whether to love him now or continue with the same narrative of hating him before, because now the Heat are winning and now they're looking like a viable threat right now. And you have to give Jimmy Butler that credit for being that catalyst. Not so all the credit for the winning, it's a team effort, but he is the catalyst right now that jump-started that new renaissance of Miami Heat that we see now.
Yeah. From that perspective, I see where you're going. Like right now, it's hard to villainize him because he's proved them wrong. Like I went to Miami, Dolo, and players who've already been there that you weren't talking this nice about, you're talking really nice about right now. You know, guys making all-star teams, slam dunk contest, skills competition, victors, a lot of positive energy coming out of Miami.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is, and it goes back to what we talk about with pre-selected. We go to Minnesota, Wiggins and Towns was pre-selected as the next up-and-coming duo.
Yeah.
When he got traded over there, the storyline was how would he fit in with them? Yes. And then they made the playoffs. That 1 year, pretty decent, solid Minnesota team. I believe they lost in the first round. I don't remember.
To the Rockets in the AC.
You know, but they had a really strong team.
They did.
You know, and then the story, he wants to be traded. And you know how the media turns on any player who asks to be traded.
Yes.
And then the whole story about the fighting and the quibbling and the taking the third stringers and beating Towns and Wiggins, right? So that makes him a bully. But he was right. Look at where Minnesota is now. Go to Philly. I don't remember hearing these bad stories about it, but it was eyebrow raising that Philly chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. Granted, I like the idea of Harris over Butler because of the spacing necessary, the shooting that you need, but the money that they paid Harris, they gave Harris superstar money.
$219 million.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
The problem with signing Harris is that they signed Al Horford right after.
So when you that's ridiculous to me.
Ridiculous.
The fact that Philadelphia chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler instantly made it seem as though he's a problem.
Yes.
So yes, he was the bad guy, but he's proven it wrong because, again, the chosen few. Embiid is a chosen player. Ben Simmons is a chosen player. We're starting to see that maybe together it doesn't work the same, right? So now we're at a spot where Jimmy Butler, to go back to Kyrie, you have to prove the media, the people who decide who you are, wrong. Miami's winning games. They're playing team ball. They're not even winning like he's not hogging the basketball. He gets his, but it's a team brand of basketball. Hard nosed. The Miami way. He's embodied what Miami Heat basketball is all about.
100%.
So yes, he's proved the media wrong. But let anything happen. Let next season run around and like Bam wants
they switch up on you.
Right.
Quick.
And Bam wants a bigger role in the offense. And Jimmy fights that. Oh, it's back to square one for Jimmy. Jimmy's on borrowed time with the NBA media. So yes, he's a villain. From that perspective, yes, Just, he's a villain.
He is on borrowed time. Another villain for you. You got in your head. Or you want me to throw out another one?
I got James Harden as a villain.
On my list too.
For me, I just don't understand, and I've had arguments with many people about James Harden. And they keep calling him an underachiever.
Yes.
He's not a winner. He's not this. He's not that.
Labeled that a lot.
And it's so confusing to me because we watch the NBA. The Western Conference is the better conference, right? Harden's got to the Western Conference Finals twice, yeah?
Yeah. Two in the last 5 years.
And he ran into a modern dynasty, no?
Yes, he did.
People would agree that the Golden State Warriors were the best team of that time frame, right? And in one of those cases, he took him 7 games with your man Chris Paul. Granted, he didn't play his best game, but he still took the shots. People called him a choke artist. I don't view choking as missing shots. I view choking as not showing up. He took the shots. He didn't make the shots.
He did choke against what he did against the Spurs. That to me was
I tried to explain that one away. I said he was tired.
Unexplainable. I remember I was in Miami watching that game. I was like, "Yo, what is happening to James?"
Bro, he packed it up, right?
Wow, that was crazy.
But he's won a lot of games.
Yes.
He's an MVP, multiple conference finals appearances, built a true sort of rivalry with the Golden State Warriors, and people call him an underachiever.
Yeah.
And to me, that falls in line with being a villain because it's just like, it doesn't matter what he does. Y'all don't like him. Whatever it is about the way he plays the game, you're not feeling him. And you'll throw the facts away because it's more suitable to hate on him because he's not what you want him to be.
Yes. Yeah, and I agree 100% on that. You're 100% right. I think the media kind of, how I look at it is, I feel like the media unfairly criticizes him to where it diminishes what he's accomplished.
Right.
Yeah. They criticize him so much where it diminishes his actual accomplishments, which are phenomenal, by the way.
Extremely.
They're phenomenal. I wrote here, He produces 34, 6, and 7 this year, and it's on a down year, right?
Yeah.
Now. It's a down year.
Percentages are down across the board.
Percentages are down across the board, but he's averaged over 30 for the last 3 years, and then the 2 years before that, he was averaging 29. So damn near for the last 5 years, he's been averaging at least 30 points per game for the last 5 years, which is crazy to do in the grand scheme of things. But a lot of people do like to criticize his abundance
of dribbling,
his abundance of free throw shooting, which, by the way, I don't like how people criticize that because they do forget that being able to draw fouls and be able to hit those foul shots, those are skills. Those are skills. So I think a lot of people forget that. I know he shoots a lot of free throws and he does initiate a lot of that contact.
Who can guard him? One-on-one.
You really can't.
All right.
He's too big. He's too strong. He's too sleek. He's sly. He's slithery. Jump shot is wet. Water. Handle. You can't do anything. You really can't. But my problem with him is that he does take some bad shots.
Oh yeah. He's a gunner.
He does take some horrible shotes.
I'll play devil's advocate just real quick. If KD's championships don't necessarily count, everyone and their mama, even NBA people say that his chips, he hasn't earned any chips yet. Like by metrics or whatever they want to call it, it's not fair. It don't count, right? Westbrook hasn't done much. Harden has done things as a solo act. If we go on by their opinion, right? Isn't Harden the most successful of the three? Since the separation.
If you take away the KD title?
Yeah, if you take away the chips that they want to take away. Harden's the most successful out of the three of them.
Oh, yeah,
but they don't like him.
Yeah.
They'll take Westbrook before they take Harden. They'll take KD before they take Harden. But Harden's done it the way you want them to do it, no?
That's 100% true.
I'm just asking.
No, you're right. You're right. And you know what? He's got to have his moment, though.
Yeah.
He's got to have his big moment.
You need that moment. You're right.
He's going to have to do it this year, but
I ain't happening this year. They might get beat in the first round this year.
Listen, I've been trying to shut my mouth. It'll be crazy. I hope. Whatever, man.
Depends on who they play.
Exactly. It definitely depends who they play. But if they play OKC.
It's going to be tricky.
Oh, man, that's going to be crazy. But speaking of OKC, I got my boy low-key in one of these selective villains.
You think so?
I think so a little bit. I think only reason I might be stretching a little bit.
Stretching.
But
they love CP, bro.
No,
they love him.
Who?
It's us who give CP up. The media loves Chris Paul. It's the people who have a problem with Chris Paul.
That's the part of the media.
That's fine. That's fine.
I feel like Twitter does.
Yeah.
It does create a semi-narrative about him.
My beef with Chris Paul started because the media, I felt like the media used to give him a pass and kill Melo. And I'm like, that's not fair. Melo's done it just as much as CP.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But, I mean, this year, I just feel like they got to give him a little bit more credit. I think because they left the narrative was to leave him for dead this season, basically. He got traded to Siberia, going over there in OKC, and he's actually defeated the odds and has actually embraced it, which I must say I am very impressed that he has done that this season. I gotta give him some love. They fifth in the West right now.
Hey, look. I'll be nice on Above the Rim. You know, I'm a fair job.
Give my son some love.
Yeah, we started this whole thing about selective villains with the media deciding who does what when the season begins. The fact that CP's not getting MVP consideration is an abomination.
Bro.
Fair is fair.
Bro.
Fair is fair.
I wrote that on Twitter today. He should be top 5.
He should be top 3.
Oh, even better.
Because who had them in the playoffs?
LeBron.
Yes. Who had them in the playoffs? Who had him good?
I didn't even have them that good.
Who had him 5th seed about to get home court in the first round?
Nobody.
We just being honest.
Being honest.
That's it.
I can't even say I did not.
Because the thing is, I'm the type of person right now, I'll give you the credit. He should be in the MVP discussion. But if he gets beat in the first round, I'll be the first one talking again.
And that would be fair, though. You know, I don't like the first round exits. That would be fair.
You know what I mean? But fair is fair. It shouldn't just be LeBron and Giannis. It should be, look at the team at OKC. Look what Chris Paul's doing for them. Look at the splits when he's on the floor from when he's off the floor. He should be in the MVP discussion.
Leading the league in the clutch.
Easily.
At 34 years old, leading the league in the clutch. To me, my top, I don't even have a top 5 MVP candidates. I only have 4. I feel like there's only 4 candidates this year. It's Giannis, LeBron, CP3, and Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Those to me is my only 4. I had Luka in there, but he kind of fell off to me. I'm not fall off. His stats still look sexy, but I can't put him up there that high.
It's not jumping at you like it was before.
Exactly, because they dropped down in the standings a little bit, and you need to sustain it for the entire course of the season. So that's my only 4 for MVP voting, and definitely my man needs to get a little bit more consideration when it comes in regards to that.
He should.
But that was nice to hear, by the way.
I'm fair, bro.
A low key selective villain that I wrote down. I'm gonna go LeVar and Lonzo. Thinking about that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it in a way, right? Because no matter what Lonzo does, I feel like right now they're trying to come around a little bit because of the love affair that the media has with Zion.
Yeah.
It's overshadowing the created dislike, because there's no real reason to dislike Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a created dislike for some reason because of the dislike for his father.
It's a lot of variables. I'm going to let you finish, though.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like they definitely fall into the selective villains category, even though now LeVar and Triple B's is trying to make that move. I don't know if you... Well, you know what? Before I get there, go ahead. What do you think about them as selective villains?
Absolutely right. It's definitely Lonzo by proxy of LeVar, because LeVar made it so impossible for Lonzo to reach the heights, the Steph Curry comparisons, franchise chasing comparisons, so on and so forth. Okay, but I've been on the Lonzo train from day one. I knew what I saw.
Yes.
I knew what his abilities were. But I think where Lonzo fell off, and not necessarily LeVar's fault, I got to go to my other guy, Luke Walton. Because I felt like the way Luke Walton coached Lonzo, all those fourth quarters on the bench, and having an answer for that. Weird minute rotations, never fully trusting him, never fully giving him the ball.
Yeah.
The entire LA situation. Then LeBron comes. Think about when LeBron was out for that time. Lonzo was already turning the corner. Then he rolled his ankles and he was out for the season. He was hitting a stride when he turned that ankle. So that whole situation, but I blame Luke Walton, because if you would have just let Lonzo play and let Lonzo fail, as opposed to just benching him and treating him like a scrub, you wouldn't have fed into that narrative energy that people wanted to be against Lonzo Ball. So I would say LeVar and Luke are the reason why people wanted to hate on Lonzo, because Lonzo's good. He's really good.
He's really good.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't pick up Zion without Lonzo, because every time you see an alley, who's throwing the alley? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but they have a very good synergy right now. Like, the chemistry that they have is
This is Kemp and Peyton right here.
I like it.
This is what it looks like to me.
And like you said before, he's unlocking Zion right now. He's unlocking Zion, and he's showing Zion definitely how to score right now.
Hands down.
Yeah. So I definitely think they could be selective villains, because the way Lonzo's been playing this season, he's shooting the three a lot better now.
Everything they said he couldn't do, he's doing.
Everything
but no one's saying a word about it.
But you know, they're real quiet on Triple B's right now.
Hey, because he's not in LA. That's all it is. He's in New Orleans, and he's the third, arguably the fourth guy. I had an all-star year.
I really like the fit with him in there on the Pelicans, man. I really like it. Do you think he's going to be there long term?
I don't want him to be.
What you want, back in LA?
I want him to come home, baby.
Think so?
Yo, I want him to be out back so bad.
I think that ship has sailed,
Nah,
man.
bro. I think that they've gone on excursion. I've been on wax. I'm saying again.
Wait, was LeBron there?
Listen.
Oh, when he's gone.
When he's gone. One of the two of them will be Lakers again. I don't know which one it's going to be. But one of two. Him or B.I. will be back in LA.
Oh, Lord.
One of the two. It's on wax.
B.I.?
Yeah. Would you be all-star B.I.?
I don't think he will come back.
If LeBron's gone, he'll come back.
I think he's a little emotional. He wouldn't go back.
I don't think so. I don't think he like playing with LeBron James. I don't think he has any smoke with the Lakers. You know what I mean?
There.
The Triple B's, like Lonzo, listen. I feel validated because when I tell you I had heat, people were really shooting at me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, Zoe can play, bro.
He can play.
He can play. Maybe he shouldn't have been drafted second, or maybe he should have just been given every chance to succeed. And things would be different. Look at even Alvin Gentry fronted on him early, had him on the bench. Like, I think maybe the first month of the season.
Yeah, in the beginning, he didn't play him as long as he should have.
I don't know what happened because I'm not following the media, because you know how it goes there. You got to get the local media to really tap in with that.
Exactly.
But at some point, he decided, I think Drew Holiday getting hurt helped Lonzo tremendously.
Oh, yes.
And he got to see what Lonzo was good at. And because Alvin Gentry is a vet in this game, he's not a fool. Sorry, Luke. Luke was coaching like he was afraid to lose his job from day one. He was so concerned about wins.
I'm glad that you came around on this Luke shit, by the way.
I mean, it is what it is.
You was loving Luke a little too much. You and Baylor, I don't know why, man.
Hey, I still love Luke, but I know that he can't coach guards, and he can't coach developing teams.
That wasn't the right roster for him.
No,
in LA.
he's not like Alvin Gentry could coach any team you give him. I don't think Luke Walton can do that. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Because as soon as Gentry realized what Zoe was good at, and the fact that Zoe needed the ball to be good, even when Drew Holiday came back, he still said, Zoe, this is yours. If you give Lonzo Ball the keys in any offense, you're going to unlock the full potential.
But you know what's crazy? Even though you say give him the keys, he doesn't necessarily dominate the ball either.
He just needs to touch it.
He just needs to touch it.
That's it.
Touch it, move it, pass the rock.
That's it.
I can do it.
He doesn't need to dribble. He just needs to feel it, move, cut, make the right read, throw the right alley. That's it.
That's it.
And he was rhythmless in Los Angeles.
Oh, he definitely was. So it's crazy though. I don't know. I can't really call it with him because if Melo goes to another squad and they try something, I definitely think Zoe will be moving over to another team. You never know. I don't know if he'll be there long term. I think if him and Zion really get that chemistry, that relationship with each other, I think that'll maybe work in his favor, make him say that. But we'll see, man. I don't know. That shit gonna be interesting, man.
Money talks too.
It definitely does. Any more selective villains before we move on?
Selective villains. I think you've covered the people that I'm mostly interested in as far as like villainy. Mm-hmm. I would say KD, but I think the Achilles injury. Actually, Draymond Green. And could you see how people now that they're hurt?
Be quiet on Draymond this season.
No.
No?
If you go on, you got, see, this is the thing. You got to go in the comment sections. That's where the smoke is.
Oh, the smoke is always in the comments.
Everyone is like, oh, you see, basically what Charles Barkley has been saying has been the comment sections all season long.
You're right.
Wait, Steph is gone, Clay is gone. It's quiet. I told you he was trash. It's a lot of I told yous.
Yeah.
And it's like Draymond Green was never a superstar. Okay? I think you and I had this argument. Yeah. He's in a unique situation when it comes to what his skill set is and what the system asks of him.
Yes.
But if you don't have the other requisite parts, you don't get Draymond Green. Draymond Green is dependent on a Clay and Steph.
Oh, yes.
And the ball play. Yes. So seeing people now jump all over him, the ha-ha and he's and he's trash.
I had a few of those, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, of course you did. You know what I mean? And look at his numbers, he's garbage, this and that. And I'm like, yo, y'all was just, they were waiting in the weeds for this particular season to kill Draymond Green. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think once KD comes back, and he looks like Kevin Durant, then the hate will come back again because he was big villain for a second. But that Achilles injury and the manner in which he fought to come back only to get hurt made him a sympathetic figure. But if the Nets are killing and him and Kyrie are killing, he'll be the number one villain in the league again. It used to be LeBron. They tried with AD, big fail.
See, I don't really look at KD like a villain, though, man.
Nah,
I feel like they be trying.
The media made
they be trying.
A lot of snake, a lot of B words.
Well,
going his way.
It's a lot of those. It's a lot of those. I'm not gonna lie. And then
his championships don't count.
Yeah.
Come on,
I mean, they do come at his neck. So, in that aspect, yes, they really do. They come at his neck probably more than any other superstar, I would say.
Agreed.
I mean, nah. LeBron. They come at LeBron's neck.
Well, LeBron is a weird case.
LeBron is like, I don't think you could compare LeBron to anything right now.
He's in his own
He's kind of a selective villain too, kind of in a way.
Well, being a Laker,
depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's old hate with LeBron. And I think LeBron, that's what I think I told you years ago. Like when he went to LA, that was the ultimate chess move. Like, because now you had millions of people who hated you. We have to cheer for you now.
Yes. Oh, that was the ultimate chess move.
You know what I mean?
Actually, I'm gonna applaud it, especially if he wins.
Yeah.
If he comes in, he wins this year and wins the title. After last year, he got a lot of slander last year. I had a LaFell episode for not making the playoffs. That was
Raymond. He just got his first name back.
He was. Oh, he LeBron now. He's LeBron now.
That's the last week. He got called LeBron.
It was a hell of a week.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that. I literally wrote that down. It was a hell of a week.
Bro, Friday afternoon, I left work because, bro, you know what it is? I'm in tune with my Lakers. But I was like, wait a minute. Did the league know that these two teams would be good back to back in LA?
Seriously, the way they put those back to back on a weekend, too.
Bro, and
Friday
and the
Sunday.
way we've looked against them, because basically the common theme with those matchups has been the fourth quarter. We haven't closed.
Yep.
And we closed both games. I'm like, oh.
I liked it.
It's championship, baby.
Listen, man, that playoffs is going to be so interesting, man.
I got my Kobe jerseys ready to swing them joints. Let us win the chip, bro. I got the 8 and the 24 ready, bro.
Oh, talk to me. Let's get to this crossover segment.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Crossover segment, family, as usual, throwing out player comparisons from different eras. My man Jav asks his GM, and he tells me who he would take out of the 6 in their primes, using 2 out of the 6 if he was building a team. I got some solid ones here for you this week, man. I'm picking 2 out of the 6 to build your team. For the guards, got Stevie Franchise. Haven't heard my man Stevie Franchise in a minute. Brandon Roy, the Portland Trailblazers, and Jamal Crawford for the guards. Now for the forwards to build your team around, Amari Stoudemire, Kenyon Martin, Pascal Siakam. right now. So build your team up. Interesting combo of forwards to go there.
Let me get those forwards
I'm
one
going
more
to give you
time.
the 6 again. Stevie Francis,
Uh-huh.
Jamal Crawford, Brandon Roy, Amari Stoudemire, Kenyon Martin, Pascal Siakam.
Wow.
Do some new school in there for you. Build your squad around. You're taking 2 out of the 6. 1 guard, 1 forward to build Jarvis fantasy squad. That's what you got.
Jeez.
What's the combo?
This is tough.
I try to pick some different choices this time.
Oh, this is tough. All right, I'm gonna get Jamal Crawford out the equation off the rip.
Oh, okay.
No shots.
Okay.
I hear people like getting upset right now. What?
So disrespectful.
He's not a lead guy. He's your 6th man, so he's out of the equation.
Okay.
Already.
You don't think he could be a lead guy?
Nah. If he could, he would have been. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
That's
no
fair.
shots.
That's fair.
I love. If you talking about prime, bro, it's the franchise, B.
Ooh.
He's.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be joking. I call him the legend of the fall off, but that guy, up until like maybe 03, animal.
Son.
Monster.
I love me some
Wasn't he a
franchise.
cover of Live one of them games? So
Yes.
Live 03 or one of them
I
joints?
think when he had the chains, was it the chains?
Man.
Or was it the Slam magazine when he had the
Slam
chains?
magazine when he
Yeah.
had the change.
Yeah.
Freestyle Control Live 03
Yeah.
with J Kidd on the cover. Franchise was a cheat code, low key in that game.
Franchise.
Yo, hops out the listen. Going back to Maryland, I was a fan of Steve Francis. Okay,
Killer crossover.
when people was talking about Juan Dixon, I'm like, but franchise made that program
Damn,
viable.
I was a big fan of Juan Dixon.
Nah, he could play. I ain't slandering.
Dixon,
But what
what?
I'm saying is, before Juan Dixon, it was the franchise.
It sure
That's all
was.
I'm saying.
It definitely
so
was.
I'm gonna go with Steve Francis. And I'm gonna go new school, but give me Pascal Siakam.
Oh.
give me the two-way player. Give me the
Talk
two-way
about
player. Franchise and
Talk to
Pascal.
me. Okay.
If Pascal's winning with Kyle Lowry, imagine what he could do with Steve Francis
what
in
I'm
his prime. I'm just saying.
Pascal on the scene.
Listen, 6'8", 6'9", can defend, can score from anywhere on the floor alongside Steve Francis. Give me those two. I figure out the rest.
Listen, my brother. Oh, I gotta agree with you 100%. I was like, I know he's gonna go because this man knows basketball, so I know he's gonna go with those. Listen, you can't go wrong with him.
Can't go wrong.
Listen, I really love those Houston teams though with Stevie Franchise.
Cuddy Mo.
Mo.
Man.
Woo. Actually, he's a solid analyst right now. So I
Oh,
don't know if
yeah.
you be checking him
Oh,
out.
yeah.
What's he on? FS1 probably. One of those,
FS1,
right? Yeah. Remember who else was on the team? Moochie Norris was on the team.
I was trying to remember his name because they had 3 little guards who would get at you.
Moochie. Damn, what
Oh
happened to
my
Mooch?
God.
Wow. Low key though, he was getting buckets too. Moochie Norris. I can't remember who else is on that team right now for the life of me.
Damn.
Was Battier on that team? No, that
Nah.
wasn't Battier yet. No, that's too early.
You had
Louis Scola.
Scola on that
Scola, I think, was on that team.
Louis Scola
I
was a
think so.
pain,
Wow,
bro.
who else was on
Mid-range monster. And they had a
Oh wait,
couple
no,
of wings.
maybe Louis Scola was with T-Mac, I think, and Rafe Alston's squad when they were on the Rockets.
Yes, that was 08, 09.
Yeah, my bad.
Ron
I
was
think I
on that
confused
team. That was towards the end of Yao's career.
Yeah, that
I'm
was Yao's
tripping.
career.
They had
Who else was on that?
Who was the big? It was a slightly like hefty big they had on that squad.
On that Houston team?
Yeah, with franchise. I can't remember his name. Like I'm picturing his face, but I can't remember his name. But
no.
he was not a goon, but he was definitely a presence. If you catch my drift. Damn, I'm about to put. Nah, we about to Google. What we doing in here? We got the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo.
I'm with all of it.
Damn, who is that big? That's crazy.
2002 Houston Rockets.
Yo, man, I used to love that. That was one of my teams, definitely alive back then, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Damn,
I'm not playing with this. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah,
Above the
definitely.
Rim Nation. What's good?
Live.
Kelvin Cato was on that
Kelvin
team.
Cato.
Terrence Morris. James Posey was on. Maurice Taylor. That was
Maurice
could
Taylor,
remember.
light-skinned Mo
Yes.
Taylor. Yeah.
Mo Taylor was a person I could not remember, bro.
Wow.
Eddie Griffin was on that
Eddie
squad.
Griffin. Slim Eddie Griffin,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Now I remember.
I had to come I couldn't remember Taylor's name, but he low key had game, but he kind of got lost from time to time.
Was Walt Williams on that squad?
Nah, I think that was the year before.
Oh, you remember Walt Williams?
Yes, high socks
wow.
number 41. Shot was wet. What you mean?
Shout out to Walt Williams right now. Those were solid
Yes.
Rockets. Those were the pinstripe jumpers.
Yes, with the rocket on there. Yeah, of course.
Those are solid. They need to bring those back, by the way. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the franchise and Pascal. I think out of this crew, listen, I was never the big fan of Amari. I know a lot of people liked Amari.
He's not a defensive player. If you're gonna be a big, I need defense.
Yeah, and I feel like he was a product of definitely of his point guard.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, he could hit a little jumper with it. Kenyon Martin, I think, also was in the same boat as Amari, even though they had some ferocity that you would like to have in your forward. But it's crazy how we saying Pascal, only really 2 years in the league, really.
Bro, you see it, though.
You see the skill early, too. I got to give him some love. So definitely, I agree with you there, man. And I hope franchise is good right now. I don't know. Last time I heard you was on some UPS shit.
Bro, he looked
right.
dry. Like his body like dried out. He was. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was on drugs. I don't know, but it just looks
I think
bad.
He had something like that. Damn, he got to put those pack of cools down, man.
Listen,
Ooh,
go to the big three. Get a bag.
That would be solid. Wait, he wasn't. No, he definitely wasn't.
Nah, he never made it.
Yeah, damn. No, that would actually be all right.
Mobley got some run.
Mobley got some run. Yeah, I know he got the whole gray going on with Mobley.
Early onset gray hair. Made it work though.
Word, he definitely did. But yeah, yo, Job, I appreciate you coming through, my brother. And I love how you changed your tune now.
Hey.
Now the Lakers all the way now.
Hey, listen.
Last time you were saying Clippers over Lakers, and I was surprised.
As the facts change, so does my opinions. Okay, I saw some different facts yesterday. Okay.
Now, are they gonna sustain that?
That is the question. Again, if LeBron attacks the way he attacked this weekend, get to the basket, take the free throws, make a miss, and you know what it is? Here's a caveat. Maybe he's the Laker fan in me. I think because he understands where he's at. Like the pressure wasn't there in Miami like that. Not in Miami. Not in Cleveland. LA, as a Laker, there's a certain expectation of you.
There is.
And I think
now I feel like he has to reprove people wrong.
I think he's starting to get it.
Yeah.
He's playing with a certain level of aggressiveness. I see the post-game interviews. I see that 24 hanging behind him. I think he's starting to get that you can't be soft in LA. Yeah. And again, as much as we talk LeBron, if you have a AD 30 piece in you, and it'd be like the most quiet 32. You look at the stat lines like, wait a minute, 30, 34?
What? It'd be a quiet 32 and 15. What? Two blocks.
And if he's not D-Boy, I don't know who is.
Two threes.
Oh, come on. Defensive player of the year, too. If it's not him, then who? Don't tell me Rudy Gobert.
I love how he stepped up and is hitting that open three, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That pick and pop three. I love that. That's what he was, that wrinkle in his game.
And that's where I'm happy with, because I didn't want him to be on some Bosh just lingering out there.
Yeah.
But on the rare occasion. Pull it.
Respect it.
Exactly.
Make them respect and make them honor you so you can have those driving lanes.
If they are able to repeat this performance, they're the champions.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like AD might have to be the best player.
AD needs to close games in the playoffs consistently. Like LeBron will have his moments, but I need the ball in the most skilled offensive player. No shade, LeBron, but when we talking skill, moves, move set, free throw shooting ability, AD.
Yep.
That's it.
And LeBron, calm down on your look at the ball for 3 seconds.
Bro, did you see that video go viral?
Yeah, man, that was hilarious.
I'm more mad at these defenders. You don't know what's coming?
I can see that shit a mile away.
Like, how do they not defend it? If we're in the crib watching it on the TV,
I literally know every time he's gonna do it. I'm like, oh my god.
Is LeBron's head fake that elite? Like, does he have the greatest head fake of all time?
I mean, is it
Hezzy that elite?
It's a quick gather, but damn, I mean, come on,
bro. The gather is like forced. With that shot is like.
But with that being said, with that being said, I gotta give him credit because he makes it.
Yeah.
So that's what I gotta give him credit for. At least we wouldn't be talking about it if he didn't make the shit. So I gotta. I
just can't imagine going for that, bro. I'm fouling him. Something gotta give.
He's actually wetting some of those.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When he's feeling good, he's actually wetting them.
If Waiters come in and kill bro, the season's over. Lock it up. If Waiters comes in and it's Waiters Island. Lock it up. It's ours.
I've been a big fan of Waiters, man. I love that pickup. Somebody gonna have to get benched. No Daquan.
Yeah, no Daquan. I think he's already done for the year, bro. I think he's gonna be in the suit for the rest of the season, bro.
Good. No Daquan. Give Caruso.
Yo, why you
minutes.
mad at Daquan, bro? Like, come on, so let that man live.
I'm good on Daquan. Joe, my brother, thank you for joining me again, brother. It's always a pleasure, man. You definitely coming back for the next one. You got to do the put up a sharper next.
Yeah, just hit me up, man. You already know I'm here.
Most definitely. Family, that's Above the Rim, episode 120, and we out.